loose again. Edwards off the running. Puts it back down to Edwards. They hand it off to Johnson. Boise State has won. Right now, and they take a downfield shot. And the catch is made. It's Riley Williams. Goes to the free. Touchdown.
All right, everybody, welcome into another edition of the Gridiron Uncensored podcast. It's Trevor and Brendan tonight, and we are clearly working on the Michigan State Spartans season preview. Trev, we are rolling through these. We're just about done, and he's repping it tonight. Hey, we got it. We got to say it. Listen, we're Michigan fans. We don't hide it, but we cover things objectively, and we just keep it real. Okay, and I promise you, we're gonna be all right.
I'll be fair.
We're all right guys, man. But look, we keep it real, we keep it fun, and we keep it real fun. I guess dad joke there, right? So Trev, Michigan State 2024 is kind of where we start off when we go through these.
Clearly, when my daughter was here, she was playing with my mic, and I have like strands of blonde hair in my mic.
I was like, "What the hell? You good? You see us?"
Yeah, it's good. It's just whatever. It's all right.
Well, 2024 is usually where we start when we do these previews, guys. For those of you that are new to our show, and then we brief about look back, and then we move forward into the 2025.
That's right.
So when we look at 2024, Trev pulls up the schedule, and you guys know, but for other teams, other fans that are maybe looking at what this team did last year. Obviously 5-7, not great. 3-6 in the Big Ten. You had some moments early, like okay, you beat Maryland, you beat the Iowa team, in the middle of the section there, but then the rest was just kind of, you're just missing things. Offense was 110th in the country, but the defense had some decent moments, sitting there at 34th in the country. In total defense. We know that doesn't tell the whole picture, but it's at least something. We do a macro outlook here. We're not diving into every single statistic, and it's just not what we're doing. But either way, you can build off the defensive performance a bit from what we saw in 2024, Trev.
Yeah.
And then, obviously Coach Smith, he's trying to get this thing back rolling. What do you see on, 24's Trevor, and then coaching staff wise, anything that's changed there and that can get them rolling into 25?
Well, 24, I honestly, like when Smith came over from Oregon State, I think when he first came over, Brandon, if memory serves, we were kind of surprised because at the time when he moved away from Oregon State was kind of on a high. Like they've been to 3 straight bowl games. Like they've been really recruiting well. And we thought it was more of a lateral move, if not a little bit of a downturn. So this first season was definitely rough because he was dealing with a lot. He just dealt with a lot. Like the players weren't all the ones that he probably would have recruited to begin with. Mm-hmm. So this is really the first kind of recruiting cycle that we're going into where Smith's going to start putting his stamp of approval on some of these recruits. And transfer portal guys that will be hopefully be making an impact. But as far as coaches go, he brought in a few. He brought in 2 specifically that I wanted to highlight, and that was James Adams, a safeties coach, and John Boyer, the new quarterbacks coach. And some of you, if you are an Oregon State fan and you follow Mr. Smith over here to Michigan State, because Oregon State's not your team anymore. That's fine. We understand.
It happens.
We understand. No, he was with Coach Smith from 2019 to 2023 as the senior offensive advisor and tight ends coach. So, I like the move, and I really kind of am hoping for you Michigan State Spartans that he is the missing link to kind of have Chiles take that big next step as a starting quarterback. Yeah. And hopefully he'll be able to help him do that. And I'm guessing that's why he's brought him in, is to specifically work Chiles to take that next step, to get through that next progression of being a top tier Big Ten quarterback. I think that's really the big time. I think this is going to be a very key hire going throughout the season, and see how Chiles responds to this guy's coaching style.
Yeah, I agree.
And then obviously James Adams coming in. This guy has been a safeties coach and continues to be a safeties coach. From the time he was a graduate assistant, he graduated from Wake Forest and was a graduate assistant at Wake Forest. He's been, for the last 16 seasons, he's been working with defensive backs. So this guy knows and has developed some NFL talent at Wake Forest. And I like this pickup for Michigan State because, Brendan, I don't know about your opinion about it, but I think the secondary definitely needs a lot of help.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's room for improvement.
Fundamental wise, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely room for improvement. I mean, last year you look at, they got torched multiple times.
Yeah.
Indiana got them 47-10. Rutgers freaking put it down on them. Oregon, Ohio State. So I mean, there's room for improvement across the entire team. But
absolutely,
yeah, safety wise, all these, there's talent on this roster.
Yeah.
So it'll be I'm curious to see how these coaching hires play out. I think they are good ones though. And Trev, that that leads us talking about the portal earlier in the coaching staff getting these guys going. Let's look at the portal real quick and just see what we're dealing with. 2025 portal class, 28th in the country, and honestly that's a nice portal class. 23 coming in, and you got 23 going out. And looking at some of these guys, Josh Eaton is one that you mentioned, defensive back side needing help. He's a guy that's going to come in immediately from Texas State and be a player for this defense. Another guy that have his key is Grady Kelly, and then Connor Moore on the offensive line. Crucial piece to getting this running game going, and what Michigan State fans expect to be able to do is run the football. Just like, I mean, any Big Ten team, but Michigan State, you had so many years of just strong running back play and offensive line play. Trying to get back to that is vital, and he's going to be a key piece to that. You did lose a couple of big ones. That I wrote down. Charles Brantley was one. Dron Glover, Anthony Jones, mainly even for what they put out, but also where they're going to. Like Anthony Jones, he's an edge rusher, but he's going to UCLA. So that interconference, that to me, that always sucks. That always hurts to see. Whether it's depth piece, starter, doesn't matter. I put it down as a key out. Trev, anything on this transfer portal that stands out to you? Good side, bad side, doesn't matter. What are you seeing?
Overall, I think the transfer portal side, all I'm going to say is it's a good haul for defensive side of the ball. I thought that they focused in on it. They definitely went after it a bit. You mentioned obviously Joshua Eaton. I'm going to mention another cornerback that they got, Dontavius Nash from East Carolina, which I think is actually a pretty decent pickup. Coming out of high school, he was a 4-star, so he's a 3-star currently as a transfer. That doesn't mean a whole lot to me because the talent was there initially. So the talent is still there. Potentially, maybe it was just a coaching problem. Maybe he just wasn't in the right defensive system to accentuate his abilities. I mean, he's a big guy, 6'2", 185, so he should be able to make a difference. They got another one, Anthony Pinnace the third out of UTSA, excuse me. And they got a few other edge rushers, linebackers. ACM Moa, I think you mentioned him, but I can't remember if you did. But a linebacker from BYU, 6'2", 240, nice sized linebacker in the middle there. I like the defensive haul for this class. I wasn't exactly thrilled with the offensive side of things. However, doesn't mean that they won't make a huge impact. You just never know what you're going to get until you get them into the system that you're running. And obviously they went after these guys for a reason. So we'll have to kind of see once they play the first 3 games of the season, who comes out of the fall or out of the summer camps and going into the fall at what positions, honestly.
Yeah. No, I honestly, I think the whole class is really nice.
Mhm.
Defensively, what you mentioned, absolutely. But even on the offensive side, a couple of these guys are going to be key pieces to, getting this thing turned around. Especially mentioned offensively, only 110th in the country.
Right.
Mentioned just a couple of key guys. From what I did, Trev went much more, into on the defensive side of the portal. And I agree with you, Trev. A lot of great pickups there. Size at the cornerback position. Even
Mhm.
Malcolm Bell coming over from UConn,
Yep.
another 6'2" type corner. But let's go ahead and let's just talk some offense because there's some guys from the portal that we'll talk about in there. But it all centers around Aiden Chiles, and
It does.
and this team going forward depends on his progression in this offseason. And Coach Smith, year two with it. Uh, this kid, he was a young guy at 23. He got some reps there, promising. And then 24, yes, there was problems around, but he still threw 11 interceptions. I think he was really trying to elevate the team and try to play hero ball. You see that a lot with young quarterbacks, really trying to get the team going and trying to spark something. And sometimes that can lead to extra interceptions. But he still threw for 2,400 yards, and he's fast. He's got the ability to run. So how much does he improve this season is huge for Michigan State and what they want to do this year. A couple other numbers I guess I'll mention. I forgot to pull them up. 66% returning production on the team. So I mean that's critical. Moving up, you've got guys that have played not just from your team, that was there last year, but guys that had reps from the portal. SP Plus has you as the 64th best team in the country. So kind of in that mid pack, and obviously that's I guess obviously if you know anything about the SP Plus, that's a 4-year span of data, so it gets phased in and out as new data comes in. But it's just one of those like, hey, a couple years of down down luck on the offense will do that to you. Uh, but back to Childs and this team, there's returning production around him. Trevor, I think he's going to be able to take a jump with the talent level that he just inherently has. And then you add in coaching staff and everything else, there's room for improvement.
I do think that Aiden Childs, excuse me, not Childs, Childs has the ability to make a jump.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has enough talent around him to make a jump, but I still think that they are going to find themselves outmatched in a lot of their Big Ten games this season
Yeah.
because, as we've covered in a lot of episodes already, is that a lot of the Big Ten teams have made strides to get stronger on the skill positions and the interior defense. And it's kind of a prove it scenario right now for Coach Smith and the Spartans for me.
Sure.
I need to see the consistency on the field for me to have confidence in this team. But I do like Aiden Childs. I do think that he is going to be a good quarterback for them. It's just, do they have enough playmakers to make plays? Because it's one thing to have a good quarterback, but if he gets it in the hands of your wide receivers and they're not able to do anything with it,
Mm-hmm.
what are we even talking about? Like
Yeah.
he can dink and dunk it all the way down the field, but I mean, Sparty fans, you guys remember you guys used to be able to sling it down the field quite a bit on a lot of Big Ten teams.
Yeah.
I think we need to get back to that a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, well, let's talk about it because, I mean, again, there's weapons on this team. Nick Marsh being one of them. The dude is a
Mhm.
beast. Young wide receiver, really stood out last season. You get another year of development. He's going to be key to Child's development as well. And then you also have Veiling at tight end, and then you get some transfer guys coming in that you're hoping that'll step up.
That's right.
Offensive line is another one that's going to be made up of the portal. Uh, but I mentioned earlier they got some good pieces there. Connor Moore being the main anchor, on that side. You got Ramil back, excuse me. He was a strong, player. He's kind of forged in fire on that. So you've got some guys coming back on the line. You got proven talent from the FCS level. He was one
Mhm.
hot commodity in the portal, talking about Moore. So it's just how's the rest of the line play out? Those other couple positions, but I think the tackles are going to be fine. Golbin's coming up from Wake Forest on the interior. Vincic, Oregon State guy, 6'5", 300, another interior. So you're just hoping these guys mesh, and how quickly will they mesh? That's going to be crucial to this season as well. Running back, even Tua Tolliver coming over, from Sacramento State. He's experienced. He's got stats. He's proven production.
Right.
So there's pieces there. It's all going to depend on, can he develop more being Chiles, and then also the offensive line, how quickly can they come together, Trev?
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't. So the offensive line pickups are good. I'm not exactly as confident as you are with their pickups for the offensive line. And simply stating, the only reason I say that is that I just feel that they should have gone a little heavier on as I've said it many of times before, the lines in general.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, they did good. They picked up a bunch of good edge rushers and corners, safeties, so on and so forth, linebackers, interior offensive linemen. They got a couple good ones. I think Carter could be good. He's a good sized guy, 6'3", 310. Like you said, Golbin, 6'4", 315, coming over from Wake Forest. We'll just kind of have to see how that matches, because Golbin's coming over from a system that is a literal air it out system.
Yeah.
And this is going to be more of a hard nose, maybe 3 wide receivers tops. Unless Smith starts really spreading it out, which is something that could possibly be happening, but I just don't think that they have enough talent to go 5 wide and five offensive linemen with no tight end.
Yeah.
And no running back in the backfield to protect Chiles. I think you have to kind of curb your expectations on the offensive line, at least for the immediate future, until we see them in action.
Yeah, and they did lose a lot of talent at wide receiver in the portal too. Not necessarily even going to big teams, but Jalen Smith, Isaiah Johnson, Antonio Gates, Jerome Clover, mentioned him earlier, all departing. So you lose a lot of depth there. But no, I'm curious to see how it plays out. I will say I see what they're trying to do. I appreciate that they're trying to build up there. They could have maybe gone after some bigger names, but I'm not fully familiar with how the NIL game is for MSU, but they obviously don't want to get left behind, right? So, they're gonna do what they gotta do. I do think the coaching hire and all that, is gonna play out. It's just, again, patience. We'll see how this works out.
I agree.
And we'll see what happens on the offense. Defensively, last year we mentioned that weren't bad at times, but then they still got blown out in others. And when your offense is not working, defense is going to get pulled into that mess too.
Yep.
So it's kind of a give and take situation there. But really, I just want to see them get after it more up front. Better stops on third down, more sacks, and in Big Ten play, because really you saw sacks in the out of conference, but in conference play, the sack rate I think it was only like 5 in all of conference play. I'd have to double check on that. Yeah. But just like that number, you got to get higher if you want to get into bowl territory, and then of course pushing back into Big Ten contention like they want to do. So when looking at it, I think the defensive tackles situation is going to be fine. The interior should be all right against the run. I want to see how the edges play. We mentioned, bringing in a couple of these edge rushers, Cam Williams, LaFalle coming over from Wisconsin. So there's guys that they went after. Santiago coming up from Air Force. I think that's going to be a good one, even for, just what the military academies can offer in leadership and getting people, bought into something. So I think that's a good one. I just want to see what they do. And then I think the linebackers, that's going to be a solid unit. Jordan Hall's he's going to have, I think, a big season coming up. And then after that, cornerback gives me a little bit of concern just from the depth side of it. But Eaton coming in, I think he's going to be a crucial role or play a crucial role in this defense. Trev, what are you feeling defensively? Can they stay in that upper area and improve?
Yeah, I'm with you on the secondary as a whole being a big question mark. I think the front seven's going to be fine. I little concerned on the interior defensive line, but for depth wise, personally, because I mean a Big Ten schedule for the interior defensive line can be grueling, can be absolutely torture if you don't have good depth on that. But I think they've recruited well. I think they have enough depth to probably get them by. But I'm telling you, 2 or 3 injuries on the defensive line, and you're going to see a lot of bad things happen, for a lot of gaps, I think it'll be bad if they can't stay healthy.
Yeah, they're hoping Grady Kelly really steps up and he can hold.
Exactly. But I'm with you on the secondary. I think they're going to have to take a big step forward. And you're right. Some of the transfers are definitely going to have to step in and really contribute from day one.
Yeah.
That's my biggest takeaway is that if the secondary can hold and give them time to get to the quarterback, I think they will get to the quarterback. But if they're getting beat off the lines and they're getting torched like that, I mean, not much an offensive or defensive line can do if the guy's wide open after a half a second of the play going. I'm just like, I mean, what you gonna do?
No, they definitely got to figure some of that out. And a couple other guys they're hoping they'll step in from the portal. Devin Cromwell from Texas Tech, safety there. You're hoping he can step up. You mentioned Nash, but the other safety was Revels coming up from Bowling Green, another 6'1" type. So how do they help out run support? Can these guys get in the 2 deep rotation? And you've got to be deep. You have to. You mentioned on the defensive line, you have to be able to rotate. I mean, you need like 6 guys like ready to rock and roll, and not just throwing random freshmen that hey buddy, get ready, here you go.
Hey, guess what?
We're talking guys that are ready in the weight room and everything else to handle it. Otherwise, you're going to get blown out, on one assignment and you're done. So we'll see what happens with that.
Honestly, if you just look at the top end of Big Ten, you can just use those teams as an example. And I'm not throwing it out there to be a homer or nothing, but Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon, I mean, even at times Wisconsin, and so in Iowa, their front defense, their front 7 for their defense is usually their strongest. Strongest. They are the most depth. They have a rotation of 4 in, 4 out. Like they have replacements for all 4, and they can keep their guys fresh. And honestly, that should be the goal for Michigan State, is to get to that point where they have a whole defensive unit that can sub in at any point in time in the game that they have confidence in to still get stops.
Yeah, you got to stay fresh, and recruiting is huge on that too.
Yes.
So we'll see, with the coaching staff as they continue to go, how that builds and, trust and getting those relationships with the recruits. But I do think this is a step in the right direction with the portal class like this.
Yeah,
and,
I do agree.
We'll see what else, goes on with there. Let us know what you guys are feeling on the offense, defense, anything we're missing, or maybe we're
overlooking,
overlooking. We got some comments from Oklahoma State fans. They don't know what the hell they're talking about this program. I don't know every goddamn person on every single roster. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, but God, we watch football every day.
Just so you know, guys,
all day. Saturday.
We take notes. We take notes, and we read our notes.
Pages and notes. Okay, doesn't mean that it's you guys. If you have new information, fucking let us know. All right. Either way, we're gonna go on. Trevor, let's talk some schedule real quick.
Let's talk some schedule
and get some floor ceiling and that type of thing. Let me pull it up on my end here too.
All right.
Here we go. Michigan State 2025 schedule, guys. I see some wins here, but I see some losses too. Looking at it, I mean, it's the beginning. I think is a winnable 4-game stretch there. And then really that middle segment is going to tell you a lot about this roster coming off that bye week. And then even the back end, if you're struggling for bowl contention, I mean, you better hope to God you're not, because Penn State's they're going to be tough. Iowa, I think they're going to be improved on offense. Trev, what are you seeing on the schedule?
I
Wins,
think.
losses.
Well, wins losses aside
Right,
for
what
a
do you think?
second. Wins losses aside for a second. I think you guys should thank your lucky stars that you don't have to play Oregon or Ohio State on this schedule.
Very true.
I mean, honestly, Oregon's going to be a tough team to beat this year. Ohio State's, as much as I hate to say it, is going to be absolutely a monster. But that being said, honestly, I'm sorry to say Michigan State, but you will lose to USC. If you win, I will applaud you. I will even buy a Michigan State jersey. There you go. I will go to whatever store I gotta go to and find a Michigan State something. I will buy it and I will wear it for the reaction show.
Just say they're gonna come for you if it happens.
I'll have to order it, guys, because I mean I'm down here in Alabama. It's not like that's like I can't go to the Walmart or Meijer and find find a Michigan State jersey just laying around. But no, I really will. If you guys beat USC at USC, I will get me a Michigan. I'll have my sister send me one.
There you go.
She graduated from Michigan State. Get that.
Oh
yeah, I know.
It's a family divided, man.
It's family divided. Yes.
Oh man.
But no, I think USC's a loss. You got to be you have to be 3-0 coming out of the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
You have to beat Western, you have to beat Boston College. And if you don't beat Youngstown State, I'm never buying anything Michigan State. But
you will be shit on.
Literally, it'll be the worst Sunday reaction show ever for you. Nebraska, I really do think you guys can beat them. I think you have a better quarterback than Nebraska does. I'm not a big Dylan Raiola fan.
Yeah.
I saw what he did last year. I thought he did not live up to the hype, and I still don't. He wants to be like freaking Mahomes. He thinks Mahomes is his Mahomie, and I don't think that's cool. Like, I think it's just absolutely ridiculous.
It's wild,
and I really hope you guys do beat Nebraska. I'll be rooting for you on that weekend for sure. UCLA, I think they're going to be improved, but I do think that you guys have the ability to beat them. They are going to have a new quarterback.
Jeez, you guys know who we're talking about.
We know who that is. But Indiana's a tough one for me because I am not as high as everyone seems to think Indiana is, as far as them being not necessarily as good, but being competitive on most of their games. I am not that way. I don't believe that. I believe that they're going to have a serious downturn compared to what they did last season. You already know after that what I'm saying. But I'm not even going to go into that game. Minnesota, that should be a win. You should be able to handle them. I don't know why this schedule has Penn State as number 1, but that's crazy to me. I don't know if they updated this wrong or what.
Yeah, that's curious.
I don't know. Normally they're pretty good about these schedules that we pull from FBS or FCS or whatever the website is.
FBS schedules.
FBS schedules. They're usually pretty on point, but that's way wrong. Penn State will be a tough one, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. So right now, by my count, I think I have you guys in a bowl game. I have you guys at 6 wins. I think that should be your floor, to be perfectly honest with you. But I think max, I think you get 7. It's a 6-7 season, guys. It's a 6 or 7 win season. You guys should be there. But it's not going to be easy. I mean, you're definitely going to have to pull off an upset somewhere. Because you won't be favored in most of these games, to be honest with you. The hype for UCLA, because they got I Want to Lay Ya, is is kind of one of those things where the hype is going to determine the spread a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think that Brendan, did you say, but I must have missed it. Did you say the over under?
No, my bad. Over under is currently at 5.5.
Okay. So I still have you guys at the over. So you're
in that realm.
All right.
When I look at it, I get a little I guess I don't know if conservative is the right word on the floor, because I look at like worst case scenario, everything just goes to hell. And for me, your floor is 4-8. Like if things just go to shit,
It's not
Chiles,
it's
Chiles doesn't improve the way we think he does. The offensive line does not mesh, the way that it could. You could lose out, week 2 to Boston College. That's a team that still has. I know that they lost their Castellanos, who's been talking that shit. That how are you going to recuperate? So that's one. I don't think you will, but that's just you could. USC could be a loss. Nebraska could be a loss in Lincoln. You could lose to Indiana. You could lose to Michigan. You could lose to Minnie. I think Minnie's going to be an improved team. Penn State, Iowa. I mean, there's losses littered throughout the schedule.
And I didn't even mention Maryland, because Maryland's a kind of a toss-up, because you don't know really week to week, you don't know what kind of Maryland team you're getting.
Yeah, and he's on the hot seat. He's going to run with the young, talented quarterback, but we know how that goes. It does, just because they're young and talented doesn't mean they're going to blow the doors off. Right. And I'll say that for Michigan too. So when I look at floor, again, that's worst case scenario, 4-8 in my opinion. But when I see a ceiling of Chiles getting things going, offensive line starts building together, I think you can beat Boston College. I think you can beat USC. It's at USC. It's going to be tough. I think it's going to be a tight game, but you should be able to be in a lot of these games. Nebraska, to me, that's a tough one. In Lincoln, I agree with Trevor about Raiola a bit, but it's another one. He's a young dude. He's got a lot of hype behind his name. If he takes this off season to figure himself out and be himself and relax a little bit, okay, things could get dangerous with that team. UCLA, I think that's a win. Indiana, I still think they're going to be strong. I like Mendoza at quarterback. Him coming over from Cal. Michigan is one. Obviously, the defense is going to be strong. Offensively, they still have pieces, and it's just how does Underwood play? And that's
assuming that Underwood is named the starter. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean that's the assumption at the moment, but Mikey Keene, I still think could step in and play, but we'll see. So when I look at this, I don't think Penn State's a win. I think Iowa's going to be tough, but I see wins in there if everything goes right, and you're still building this roster. I'd say 7-5 is probably the ceiling on what I'd see with this team, Trev.
Yeah.
There's wins out there. You just got to go get them. You got to play smart coaching wise. You got to control the ball, get that running game going, and let Chiles just let him work it, man. Don't force the envelope. Let him develop.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I can see the 7-5. I mean, it would have to be there would have to be an upset somewhere.
Well, I mean,
or maybe not an upset necessarily, but something that caught people a little bit off guard.
I mean, you got Michigan and East Lansing. You could. I don't think it's going to happen. Obviously, we're Michigan fans. Like we're not trying to be biased here, but that's just a tough ass defense. Wink figured it out last year. We'll see, how that goes after losing some key talent. But I think there's a win there. Not like a win is possible. And I think Indiana is one you could upset them, like Trevor mentioned. So there's going to be an upset somewhere. Where is it? I don't know. But I definitely think you're going bowling. I think 6 wins for sure gets you to a bowl game and gets some more momentum into next offseason. So that's where we're sitting, guys. Let us know what you're feeling, how you look at this schedule, and where your for sure losses, where your for sure wins. How confident are you in this season and getting the rivalry game back and getting the Paul Bunyan Trophy back in East Lansing. We want to hear from you guys, truly. Trev, anything else tonight before we shut her down?
No, as you guys can see up here and down here, these are all our ats for all the places. If you want to go check out our Twitter or X, listen to us on Spotify. We appreciate all the support, and obviously Facebook and Instagram. We're also on as well. We appreciate all you guys for everything that you guys have done for us up to this point.
Yeah, for sure. And check it out during the season. We're going to do live shows on Sunday nights for recap of what went down in the college football weekend, and then during the week we also do a preview of what's going on the week ahead too. So
that's right.
We appreciate you guys. We'll see you around. Have a good one.
Take care.